Yes, on my fourth show of the day, we will try to maybe do a little bit of singing on it. Well, on music CDs. Now, I ask if you want the one from the past, or one from the present, or one in the middle. Hmm. Put the past. We're not going to go back to 1900 or anything like that, you know. Put the past, say, back to the 30s or 40s at a stretch. Probably the 40s, 50s, 60s. If you want in the middle, let's take 70, 80, 90. And in the last 25 years, let's put that down as the present because they're mostly still all around, you know. Not because they're all still recording. And there's three types. Well, there was. So we move the camera. There they go. Right. How about this one? It fits in the present because it's Oasis in the last 25 years. Anything in that 25 years, the 30 years coming up, fits in the present. Even if it's from the end of the 1990s, it doesn't matter. Sing a song. Can't find it. Don't look back in anger. I heard you say. Yeah, I could sing the full song for you, but I haven't got it. I haven't got the words and all on here. This is music CDs. Anyway, there's Oasis there. Time flies, 1994 to 2009. And there's the big crowd at the festival. Supersonic on here. Don't look back in anger. Live forever. Yeah, wouldn't mind. Whether I'm strong enough or old enough to get any done, I don't know. I pick the next pack. Pick the next pack. These is about to be oldies. The Rat Pack. What have you done, Sammy? Says Frank. Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, and Sammy Davis Jr. were the Rat Pack. Sammy, you've let the rat out of the bag. We are dirty. We are acting as dirty rats. You dirty rat, he would say. But everybody needs to love somebody, including the dirty rat. Yes, it wasn't offensive in those days because Sammy Davis Jr. was coloured. They still called him a dirty rat. And so did Dino as well. As Dino at the front and Frank and Sammy Davis Jr. They all sang and they all recorded and they all teamed up in their films for the Rat Pack. And there they are on the other side, the Rat Pack. Give you some songs, well, individual songs, because the Rat Pack used to do the individual songs. Frank Sinatra, Day by Day, Sammy Davis Jr., What Kind of Fool Am I? And Dean Martin, Everybody Loves Somebody. Again, Frank Sinatra, Oh Look at Me Now. Dean Martin, I Can't Give You Anything But Love. And Sammy Davis Jr., Talk to the Animals. What's on the inside? Are we all alive? Oh, look, we're alive on the inside. All alive on the inside. And there's the dirty rat. And there we go. And that's about to be past, present, middling. It's hard to get middling. Well, it's not too hard to get middling. This will be middling. Well, yeah, this is definitely middling. How about blue? Blue would have hit in the 90s, though. I mean, it depends how far you stretch middling back to. Well, I would have said 70s, 80s, 90s, and take 40s, 50s, 60s as past, or anything before that. Yes, stand up. Whole prison and all standing up and getting arrested by the police. There's a police car. Stand up. You've been arrested. Signed, sealed, delivered. Sign that paper. Tasted and guilty. Yes, they've been found guilty of rocking the night. And there's Blue. Guilty is the album. Blue, Guilty, and Blue. And there's a corpse for you. There's a corpse. How called the corpse? Well, only trying to feel guilty about something. I hope I walk away. And there we are, middling. Definitely past. Elvis, but Elvis has never passed. Elvis's Christmas record is all alive on the inside. If every day were like Christmas, oh come all ye faithful and Blue Christmas, what is Christmas it does as well. Elvis, put him in the past. We haven't got a lineup of three. On this side, we're not so bad. We got 3 packs. I'm just thinking whether we could, how much we could get them on there, you see. There's not that much room for them. So we just got to put them all under one pack, yeah. Right on. That was Elvis doing his Christmas album. So now we're going to have to go to this one. Are we going back in? Well, coming forward, actually. Coming forward, if that was past, we're coming forward to middling. We might not stick in the same order. 80s it is. Tight Fit. The best of Tight Fit. There's a man there, he's got a tight fit, he's got 2 of them. Very tight fit. Very tight for him. Up against 2 girls. But that was Tight Fit. A lion sleeps tonight. The girls will have to sleep as well. Back at 60s Part 1. Met them on Fantasy Island. Yeah, doing a Lovers Cotton Show tour. Just a moment away. Tight Fit from the 80s. All alive on the inside. Best of Tight Fit, middling, I would say. That's the best of Tight Fit. Coming up to the last 25 years and so. The present, yes. I would say this. What is it? Hide from the sun. A grey, cloudy day with bits of drizzly rain. We don't have any sun. And I'm not hiding. Rasmus, that's what it is. Perhaps you could read the name. The Rasmus up there. Rasmus, Out in the Shadows was our best, or In the Shadows was our best one. But this is the album Hide from the Sun. Night After Night, No Fear, Dead Promises, Sail Away. The Rasmus. It's definitely in the last 25 years, I would have hit about 2002 or something like that. All alive on the inside. I don't know, yeah, the top pops off. That's why I didn't want to fully open it. But that's the Rasmus there. Now where do we go? Do we go back in time or back in time? Yes, because we done back, middling, and present time. Back in time, Eartha Kitt. Yes, the Eartha Kitt collection. Good one. Eartha Kitt started, I think, in the 1940s and the 1950s. She was on a lot of TV programs and didn't have big hits, Eartha Kitt, man. She never had big hits. She had bigger other things, but she didn't have big hits. When the World Was Young, Love for Sale. The last time I saw Paris, and I've got you under my skin. Eartha Kitt, well, she came back to record with a few more modern artists, but not today. Somewhere in the 80s, and she had one or two hits then, but uh, she cooperated with the bands and that. There you go, Eartha Kitt. On the bridges in Paris, or the last time I saw Paris, uh, all alive, all alive on the inside. And I think most of our best work was done in the 50s anyway. And he only done a few cover things in the 60s and that. Come to the present time, because, well, the war was still rolling until a few years ago. Brian Johnson left. AC/DC, Stick Around, Jailbreak Highway to Hell. What's some of the other ones? TNT, Back in Black, Thunderstruck. Yeah, all on here. This is AC/DC. I would put them in the present category. And there goes a lot on there. AC/DC. Yes, of course, AC/DC started about in the 70s. And they were going right up to the 10s. It was still going there, and I don't know what happened till now. They're going to get too old, you see. AC/DC. Yes. And back, but not, not way back. Middling, let's say. But that band never middled, you know. So I'm just putting them back down again because they didn't middle. So this time, let's go back. Cannot go back because we've been back for so middling. This is it, middling. The 90s and that, 80s, and even consider 70s. It's hearsay, though. This isn't more in the 90s. Hearsay, pure and simple. The way to your love. One step closer. Another lover. Not the kind. I never really researched which are hits, but they have some hits and which are not. There they are. Hearsay, Pop Stars, it's called. There they are. With the van or the car or the pickup truck or whatever you want to call it, camping out there. Hearsay, Pop Stars. Yes. What have we had? We've had present, we've had middling. So you want to go back now? Well, how about the Four Lads? Four Lads were a hit in the 1950s. The great getting up morning, great to get up in the morning. I got four good singers like that. They didn't again have gigantics, because but they had fair few hits in the 50s. Not too many. The Bus Stop song, Anymore, Girl on the Shore, uh, Put a Light in the Window, and The Great Getting Up Morning. The Four Lads, often sung with Johnny Ray as well. Johnny Ray sung in it would be 50s, and the Four Lads, backing them, singing as well. Four Lads, everybody alive? I do not know, but all alive on the inside, that's all I can say. So that's gone past. Present. Oh, that's not present. Present, yes. I had a present a few years ago. I don't know what's happened to them. What's happened to the Stereophonics? They're still around, I think. You've got to go there to come back. But the trouble is, they went there and they haven't seemed to come back. Help me. I miss you. Madam Helga, just looking, yeah. Have a nice day. Living in the sun, traffic. Yeah, just a selection of Stereophonics on there. I would put that in the present category. Still around, they were still around and then tens, I think. This band's still around, but its heyday would be in Midland. Let's have a look. But it's still around. Kiss, they're preparing for another final world tour. And they've been around since the 70s. Very best of Kiss. Stutter Douche, Got to Choose, Hotter Than Hell, Rock and Roll All Night, Detroit Rock City, Shout It Out Loud, Beth, and Hard Luck Woman, New York Groove, I Was Made for Loving You, Lick It Up, God Gave You Rock and Roll Music. Kiss, give 'em a kiss. 4 kisses for the price of none. And there you go, that's, I put that down as Midland, but they are still present. Now you want something from the past. Okay then. Rosemary Clooney. With Duke Ellington, Billy May, Les Brown, Bob Thompson, and the guest is Bing Crosby. Of course, some of them had orchestras in that, which Rosemary Clooney sang with. Making Whoopi, Sophisticated Lady. She sings with other artists, you see. Not more or less singing our own songs on here. We did her yesterday, I think. So not too far away. So you want to see Rosemary Clooney's own works. This is where she's working with other people. Can look at yesterday's. Nothing to be gained there. Nothing to be gained inside. Disc and list. I don't always open them up because sometimes you got a nice picture, but nothing to be gained inside. Well, when you got Rosemary Clooney's word for it, there we go. Past. Now, where do we go? Past. Midland, present. Present. Ah, well, these boys are very present. Present. Coldplay, but they're supposed to stop doing the work for a while. But this is the greatest hits up to 2011. They've had other hits since then. Viva la Vida, Trouble, Clocks, Yellow, In My Place, All on here, Coldplay. Coldplay. That's classed as present. Midland. Back. No, we've been back. Midland. No. I'll have to put this down as Midland. Midland. Oh, yeah, Midland. Because they haven't got them sorted out in order, you know. How about James Taylor? That can't be back, surely. That must be Midland. 70s, in the 80s. Probably his best time. Fire and Rain. Country Road. You've Got a Friend. Mexico. Something in the way she moves. It's just white. And it's just white. And it's James Taylor. And I don't think there's going to be nothing to be gained in there. It's James Taylor. A little bit reluctant to show his face. So I show up for him. James Taylor. Fire and Rain. This is his greatest hits, by the way. That's what it's called. Another artist, too many. But usually the ones he had were quite good. You've Got a Friend and Fire and Rain are quite well known. Present. Is it present? No. And if that's Midland, it's past. Past. Judy Garland. Was around since the 1930s, had the big hit in 1939, Over the Rainbow. But on this one, doing a few different ones, doing the best of the Capitol years. So we're still there in the 50s and 60s. That's Entertainment Medley. Lucky Bay. I hadn't anyone to tell you. Come rain or come shine. Do it again. Oh, Over the Rainbow is on there. Yes, it's the last one on there. Over the Rainbow. Because Over the Rainbow from the film 1939. A very big hit for a number one hit for all over the place. Judy Garland. And there you go. And there you go. There's nothing to be gained. Oh, yeah, that is with Judy Garland. You can see her when she was a young girl, listening to her teacher how to sing. Oh, could be her father. But he's got a music sheet, so it's probably our teacher. And there you go, Judy Garland. Somewhere Over the Rainbow by now. Past. Present. Thought we'd done present. No, we done Midland with James. Past. Present. His name's Tupac. Tupac. Tupac, I call him Tupac. And there he is, Pac's Life. Now this is Tupac. Pac's Life. I wouldn't be the best really on Tupac songs. Pac's Life, I know one or two of them in the noughties or perhaps even in the late 90s. Don't Sleep Soon As I Get Home. Pac's Life remix. Got one of them fancy boxes, which you cannot open. No, I can't if I don't think I really need to. Anyway, there's Pac's Life. The amount of rap and stuff as we're going towards the noughties, the 90s. Later 90s, I think. Pac's Life, and there we go. Present we'll call that. We're looking now for Midland. Whoa. What these boys in Midland? Well, yeah. But mind you cannot always middle. You have to stretch back into the years of past, and sometimes you stretch into the future years. It's T-Rex. Well, I think you can forget about the future, because Mark Bolan died. In the beginning, there was just the two of them, Mark Bolan and Mickey Finn. They called a band in the 60s Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now, before that, Mark Bolan just recorded some songs under his own name. Then there were Tyrannosaurus Rex. There's one or two hits, Ride a White Swan, 1 Inch Rock and things, but not a great lot. In the 70s, they took on glam rock, changed completely from their kind of progressive rock, and swung everything and put everything into glam rock, and changed the name of the band from Tyrannosaurus Rex because people couldn't see it. Foreigners couldn't see it. And just called themselves T-Rex and had a string of hits, one after the other. Telegram Sam, Metal Guru, Children of the Revolution, Solid Gold, Easy Action, 20th Century Boy, Truck on Type, and all others. And this is the very best of them. And there they are there as well. In the original T-Rex. But they put other fellas in the band. The original Tyrannosaurus Rex. And they will revert back to the originality. Because it was still the two guys in control, the others just playing their instruments. And there you are. T-Rex. Mostly in the 70s. Because Mark Bolan died there. But there you go. Still popular today, probably T-Rex. Midland, I would say. Back. Oh, not back. Yes, it's back. It's back. I've got somebody here. Oh, no, this is a stretch, yeah. The back. What is it? It's the Merry Marks. Mostly 1940s. Now, I don't even myself know too much about the Merry Marks. I never set out as a child or a young man to play any of the records. I did hear, though, Maisie Deutsch and Maisie Oates when I was a child. Some people sang it. They sang with Bing Crosby. They're featuring Bing Crosby on here as well. 26 original mono recordings. They started in 1938 to 1948. On here, we did other things after that, but it just wasn't the best period. The Merry Marks. Yeah, they are. The three guys wear the mark in the pouring rain, and the girl only wears a dress. Pop Goes the Weasel. I got rings on my fingers. A lot of things what they're quite known for, but they're known mostly for Maisie Deutsch and Dozy Deutsch. So that's Maisie Deutsch and Dozy Deutsch. And of course it's on here. The Merry Marks. 38 to 48. All live on the inside. This one shows you some other artists that are around at the time. Andrews Sisters, the Comedy Harmonists, the Ink Spots, the Mills Brothers, the Revelers, and of course Bing Crosby and Friends. Past. Midland, must be time for present. It's time for present. 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 The Blur have got back together, many times since they split up the early 2000s, In fact, they're always together. Yeah. But the most of the hits, what I'm trying to say, is come out in the late 90s, early 90s. She's So High, Girls and Boys, Beetlebum, Park Life, Out of Time, Pop Scene. This is just a sample of some of their songs. So this is from the live 2009, so would be classed in the present. Blur, people enjoying them at a festival. And there you go with Blur. I would put it into the present category. Oh, back present now, it must be middling. Oh, oh, ah. Not, who's middling? Oh. Well, you could say, but I mean, you're only going to say, they're not actually middling. How about the Toms? The Toms started in the 1960s, or way back, maybe towards the beginning of the 60s. But they had a couple of hits in the 1970s, such as Hey Girl, Don't Bother Me, Hey Girl, Don't Bother Me, Be Young, Be Foolish, and Be Happy. And remembered best for the 1971 chart topper, Hey Girl, Don't Bother Me. But this set demonstrates the versatility of the group and sing a lot of other songs also. But that was a big one that they had. Hey Girl, Don't Bother Me. Be young, be foolish, be happy. I've been hurt. I've been hurt. I had it. I thought it was an absolutely fantastic record. Fantastic. I think the most fantastic record I've ever heard. And here's the truth. It wasn't by the Times. It was their song originally. Someone else done it in the 60s. And Guy Darrow done it in the 70s. And it was a good hit. But he never had anything else. He never had nothing else. He didn't have anything else. Just one or two other songs. And there you go. But it was originally with the Toms. I've been hurt. 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 I've been hurt. The Toms. And there you go. A nice photograph of them. Sometimes you do get the photograph, but it's the same photograph as on the back. So you don't, or the front, so you didn't worry. The Toms, middling. Yeah, put them down to middling. Let's find something past. Oh, yeah. Well, Frankie's past his best. Frankie, you were past your best. Frankie Vaughan. Yes, in the 1950s, Frankie Vaughan going into the 1960s, and he was still around for a while after that. Give me the moonlight. Give me the girls. And leave the rest to me. The best of Frankie Vaughan there. Also done Green Door. Shaky Stevens did it later on. Loop de Loop. Tower of Strength. Give me the moonlight. The Garden of Eden. Cabaret. And he used to sing some with the K Sisters. Because he liked the K Sisters. And the K Sisters said, you've got to have something in the bank, Frank. Otherwise you can't date us. With the K Sisters, you got to have something in the bank, Frank. You haven't got anything. Well, you've been boozing all your money. Gambling all your money. Oh, yeah, I bet you've got a packet. And there he is, the best of Frankie Bourne. Give me the moonlight, give me the girls, give me a date with those K-sisters. Which one do you want, Frank? Got to have something in the bank, though. And what goes on behind the green door? Oh, I don't know. Frank singing, probably. Although he was startled by what goes on behind the green door also. Yes. Oh, yeah, sometimes they dress up on the stage and wore his cape and his cloak and his stick and his top hat. And give me the moonlight, give me the girls, and leave the rest to me. And he does Hello Dolly on here. He had a version of that. My Lord. That's him when he's my Lord. A kiss is sweeter than wine. It comes softly to me, does with the K-sisters. That was another band. And I would say that's past. Mostly 50s into 60s. And the K-sisters were singing as well, if you wonder. Midland. No, it's future time. It's present time. Only way I could walk it for you, it's present time. I'll go on. This band was in the noughties, stretching into the tens. Two Door Cinema Club. I thought they might do a bit better than actually what they did, but they didn't do. They had one or two hits and kind of faded away. Cigarettes in the theatre come back to me. This is life. Something good can walk. And I have the Two Door Cinema Club. It's late noughties and into, and who's that? Ghoulie Cats. And as he's realised, wonder whether you can see it as a cat. Two Door Cinema Club with the cinema cat, of course. Put him down to present. Where do we go now? Midland again. Head difficult. Traffic. Now, Traffic war hit in the later 60s. And Traffic only stayed about 2 or 3 years together. But Steve Winwood in Traffic, in Blind Faith after that. Before that, he was in Spencer Davis Group. And he's done quite a bit on his own over the years. Low Spark and High Heels, Holding My Shoe, and Paper Sun are probably the best of Traffic. Steve Winwood in the band. And he is there. And yeah, there's a few interesting ones on there for you. Nothing to show. No. Put that down as Midland. Go on. Yeah. That leaves us with. Past. It's Peggy Lee. Peggy Lee was around in the 40s and had a few hits in the 50s. Peggy Lee. And there she is. I Like Men. And Sugarin. Two of the top albums, I think, in those days. I Like Men. and Sugar and Spice. And some songs taken from there. Good for Nothing, Woman Loves a Man. She did things like How Much Is That Doggy in the Window? But so did others. Peggy Lee, on the back it's just Peggy Lee. And I haven't got any photographs of Peggy Lee. Just the front. Put it down the past. 40s, touching at the 50s. They're still going in the 60s, but can't keep up with the day's music. Past, middling, present. This is actually Pink Floyd. You know. They're still around. I think they're still trying to get something done for next year, for the next album or something. But they've been active since the 60s. They do things occasionally. That's just from the Final Cut album. So what was we looking for now? Present. Oh, well, these guys are pretty present. Metallica. I don't know what they're doing now, but they're being active in recent times. Metallica. All You Want from Metallica. The Unforgiven. Enter Sandman. Master of Puppets. Nothing Else Matters. They're all on here. Disappear. Fuel. And a whole lot. And how can you play them? I mean, how can you play over 100? Take you all day and you're not getting anything else done. But no, I have played them. I have played Unforgiven. I might even play on YouTube, See, I used to play a lot of disc, When nowadays I maybe just play something on YouTube. If I see it, I like it, I might just play. So I don't get through as much disc these days as what I used to do. What were we counting that as? Present. And Peggy Lee past middling. I couldn't tell you a lot about the middling category. I get bowed off with it. In that case, I just have to do what I've got. So, upstairs, the boy should be middling. Well, of course, he should be at Barry Manilow. He hit in the 70s and into the 80s, the very best of Barry Manilow. I Can't Smile Without You. Mandy is live on here. Yes, Copacabana. Could It Be Magic? They Dance. Turn the radio up. And you're all alive on the inside. Barry Manilow. Very best of Barry Manilow. 70s and the 80s, probably his best period. He come back with a one, I think, and then doing something in the 90s. Don't think he done much since. Present, middling, past. Oh, there's a guy. I got him mostly for his couple of hits that he had in the 1950s. Rush Hamilton, this is the Rainbows album. The couple of hits that he had in the 1950s, they were in the charts, they were quite well liked. We Will Make Love. And ever see his other one? See, I can't look anything up on here. You say I haven't got it. But I can look it up. Wedding Ring, that's it. He had those two hits, We Will Make Love and Wedding Ring. They're both on here. Rush Hamilton. It wasn't again a big star, but You know, some of them have a few hits and they're not big. Nobody, but they're all alive. Rainbows is his album. It's from the 50s mostly. And he was a pop star, good pop star, but he didn't seem to rock. You know, more serious pop star. So where we getting to now? Midland, past, present. Well, this lady's had a few over the years, and the noughties and one or two in the tens. That's not the right lady, sorry. I picked the wrong lady up. No. Unless I go Midland again. I'll go and I have to go with it now. No, I would say it's from 70s to 80s actually. And she had a hit with somebody else in the 90s, but she hadn't done nothing in the 10s and that. Bonnie Tyler, greatest hits. And we're talking about things like Total Eclipse of the Heart, It's a Heartache, Holding Out for a Hero, Lost in France, and them. All good hits in our best period. And there she is, Bonnie Tyler. I get a better picture for her. There's Bonnie Tyler. And she's all alive. Because they're all alive on the inside. Don't know what they're like on the outside. Was that classed as Midland? If we did Rush back, we didn't do a present timer. A present timer. They established somewhere about the end of the 1990s that early noughties were probably at the best. That's not my name. Fruit Machine, shut up and let me go. The Ting Tings. So just who are the Ting Tings? We started nothing. There's a picture of the Ting Tings. Into the noughties includes That's Not My Name and Great DJ. That's the other one I had in the charts. There's nothing, only abstract. But there's a picture of the Ting Tings. That's Not My Name and Great DJ. Fair chartage, you know. Not sure where we're going now. Past. Can it go? Voice the seed up. I might have to come to the day you just have to look for yourself. And somebody wants us to sing. I was going to try and do one or two a day, but past we're doing now. The very best, the magic of Tony Brent. Through the 50s, he had quite a few collection of hits. Started basically around about the end of the 40s. Make it soon. Have you heard? Nice to know you can. Gone now, so I might be packing in a minute. But there's Tony Brent, and there's his other photograph of him. More in the 50s. On his records jumping out. But it's just silhouetted. So there he is. But nice to see him again. I have seen the photographs of him on here. And on here also. And there you go, Tony Brent. Quite a lot of hits in the 50s if you look them up. Maybe about 10 or push it to 12 or something, I don't know. Midland. I'll not get anybody. Well, I just have to do them one as I come to now. I kind of worry, but I'm just either gonna in future time just gonna go past the present. It's the Teenage Dream album from T Rex. It's got Teenage Dream and Dreamy Lady, the Slider, Born to Boogie, the Groover, and things like that on it. But it's more devoted to the Teenage Dream album from T Rex in the 70s. That would be Midland. Present time. Oh, who's present? Run DMC. It's like that Walk This Way, the better ones. Um, Mary Mary. Run DMC. It's not Runaways in there. Run DMC. Best one to work with Aerosmith and didn't Walk This Way. But it did other ones and had hits. Apollo 440. Stop the Rock. Probably the best one. But they did the Lost in Space theme and Will and Penny's theme. Alpha Point. This is a Lost in Space. And Apollo 440. I'd have to go back to Midland for this fella. Bruce Springsteen, all on here. Born to Run, yeah, you know, in the USA. Born in the USA. Kind of Seed for the Light. Hungry Heart, Dancing in the Dark. Yeah, My Hometown, Glory Boys. Put this fella into the Midland category as well. Phil Collins, Another Day in Paradise, Two Hearts, I Wish It Would Rain Down, Against All Odds. So there's two. I might put it into the modern category, but it's not really modern. Mostly 80s into 90s were the best period for the Happy Mondays. Happy Mondays, Kinky Afro, Dennis and Lewis, Bob Shaw, Uncle. Step On, of course, was probably one of the main ones. Happy Mondays. And now I haven't gotten it back in properly. And that's what happens there. Happy Mondays. Definitely back in the past for this fella, Johnny Cash. I started acting on the TV in the 50s, some songs in the 50s, some more in the 60s. And these were some of his hits. I Walk the Line, Boy Named Sue, Get Rhythm, Ring of Fire, Folsom Prison Blues. Hey, Porter. Later in the 70s, he did The Boy Named Sue. And that's Johnny Cash. Definitely a hit from the 80s, going into the 90s, and they did quite well in the 90s. Ran on a bit towards the 2000s. Simply Red with this is the Live in Cuba album. If you don't know me by now, Something Got Me Started. Money's Too Tight to Mention, I like. And Fairground, Joe Murrah, Holding Back the Years. Simply Red have a lot of hits. There's two. Simply Red. And there he is again, Mick Hucknall, I call him. And there he goes. I would put them down in the modern brackets from the 90s running into the noughties. Texas. I Don't Want to Love Her, Tell Me Why, Every Day, Southside, Faith. This is from the Southside album. I haven't got a cover for them. I got some and I didn't have covers for, but I just put them in my plastic sleeve. She had a hit, and a lot of people like that hit. This is a smile that confuses people like me. I always smile and it confuses them. When horsepower meant what it said, everybody was on horses. I wish I was a punk rocker with flowers in my hair. Well, she's mixing up the years. Punk rockers came about 76, 77 and stretched vertically through towards the 1980s. Flowers in My Hair was 1967 Summer of Love. Go to San Francisco, wear flowers in your hair. Lonely Girl, Sweet Borderline, Castles, Sandy Tom. That's who it is, Sandy Tom. And what happens when you look in the mirror? You see Sandy Tom. And she had no photograph for us. Put it into the modern category. Well, I think it was in the 2000s she had a hit. He definitely in the 2000s, they stretched into the 2010s as well. Justin Timberlake, Future, Love Sounds, Cruiser hit single, Sexy Back, and he's got other singles on here. Sexy Lady Milo, Justin Timberlake, I'll always say, just fell into the Timberlake, and he got back out again. And that completes it for the day. Well, I've got to leave it sometime. I have to do other things. And I've got thousands and thousands and thousands here. And my only hard job is keeping them separate one from the other and bracketing them and trying to put them in an order for you. And I'll have to put all them back. Sure, Big Doink, as you're saying. Love Run DMC. I love It's Tricky. And some great albums, William. Yeah, plenty great albums here. Hundreds of thousands of songs. And so that's all for today, and I'll see you again tomorrow. I may see you again tomorrow. I think so, yeah. Anyway, that's all for now. Bye for now then.